Number 6 is how to drink water. This comes with a link.
You need somebody to test the water. Once the company know you're going to be testing the water, they would let you have to put something in the water. Two, get a dog or a cat and put the water down. They don't drink it, and something's wrong with it. See, a dog or a cat, and this is the problem with Jimmy Jones. When they said Jimmy Jones and the people was drinking the Kool-Aid with the cyanide in it, and the cats and the dogs was dead, a dog would not drink straight Kool-Aid, less long Kool-Aid with cyanide in it, okay? If you take water out the tap and put it for a dog or a cat, they will walk around it. Not just so happen chlorine and fluorine is a gas. All gas move to a higher level. And so there's a period when the dog or the cat will come and drink the water. But I would say don't drink the still water unless you're on a fast, because the still water will rob your body of minerals. Don't drink mineral water because mineral water is radioactive. But spring water is the water to drink. That's number one. The body's 97% liquid, and out of that is 85% water. Alzheimer's disease comes from lack of drinking water. The lower back problems we have come from lack of drinking water. Gallstones and kidney stones come from lack of drinking water. And then again, if someone come and told you to drink clean water, even if what they said was wrong, if it didn't do nothing for you, it's not going to do nothing against you. You have not put anything in your body that would create any type of problem. Number two, physical fitness. And we as African Americans have to stop looking at physical fitness as some game. We have to stop looking at it as some age, as some sex. Every black person, regardless of how old they are or how young they are, babies get there. They move around in the crib, they, do their thing. And so we got drinking water, physical fitness, and sleep. And if I had to rearrange that, I would probably put sleep first. Rest. One of the big horrors, particularly in the black community, it happens all over, is lack of rest. The body, the brain, 90 minutes after the sun go down, the radiation belt in the atmosphere do a flip-flop. And it recharges the brains. And all the sleep you get after midnight don't count. That's what the story of Cinderella's about. And so for those of you out there that's listening to me, try it. And usually you say 7 days. Let me tell you how you drink your water. When you start drinking water, when you're not used to drinking water, you're going to go to the bathroom a lot if you have a job. And God didn't leave leeway for jobs. Jesus Christ is God's son. Jesus didn't work. If you look at all the rich, super rich people, Prince Charles, they never had a job. And Queen Elizabeth, I don't think she even know how to spell it. And I believe every day, if you went to Buckingham Palace and took every dictionary they had, I do not believe they put the word job in there or work. And so when you look and say, well, I can't do this because I have to work, the universe will not bend over for you. Now, you get up in the morning, the minute you get up, you drink a glass of water. If you're not driving over long periods of time where you're going to need to go to the toilet, drink 2 glasses of water. When you get to wherever you're going, between that time and 11 o'clock, drink 2 more. Now you got the rest of the day to drink the other 4. Now, here's a simple law. Would a 6-month-old baby drink 8 glasses of water? No. Mothers give babies water by ounces, X amount of ounces. Well, the real game is we just say 8 ounce glasses of water. Whatever you weigh in pounds, you're supposed to drink half that in ounces. If you weigh 200 pounds, you're supposed to drink 100 ounces of water. If you weigh 1,000 pounds, you're supposed to drink 500 ounces of water. Now, let me tell you how water works. If this was a piece of cloth and I held it here and I gave you a sharp hatchet and you hit this cloth, you would tear it. If I put this cloth in a bathtub of water and you hit it, you couldn't tear it. It floats with the water. The body's the same way. If you fall, if you're injured, if you're in an automobile accident, this is why babies can fall out windows. We read about it all the time and don't die because the water balance is there. Okay. And rest. Even when you're not sleeping, rest. And when I'm talking about rest, I'm not talking about on the phone talking. I'm talking about taking some time out every day where you just close the system down. Minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just close it down. And that rejuvenates the body. And so now we're talking about sleep and rest we're talking about water, and we're talking about physical fitness. Now, jogging is not physical fitness. Weightlifting is not physical fitness. Physical fitness is first your heel got to touch the ground. So if you're on a bicycle, that don't count. If you're walking up steps, that don't count. The heel got to touch the ground. If you're running, what is running? When both your feet is off the ground at the same time, it could be 1/10 billionth of a second, that's running. Now what happens then? Because of gravity pull, anytime both your feet is off the ground at the same time, which is called running, when your feet hit, it sends 2.5 times your body's weight up your legs, to your knees, up to the spine, and sends shock waves to the brain, which damage it. And so walking. Now, walking in the evening don't count. In the morning, when you lay down in bed and go to sleep, the grease in your bloodstream comes up to the top. If you go out and walk vigorously, don't start off that way, but you have to walk to the point that you just tired and sweating and you push all that out. Now, what you will notice even joggers, if joggers go out and run, the day they take off, they get very irritable around 10 o'clock. That's when that grease starts moving back into the bloodstream. And so the three things is rest. And you see, one of the great tricks, and it's funny, everybody working 2 jobs except the people that control. They don't work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, a job and something on the side. It's not about that. Show me somebody that has 2 jobs. I'll show you somebody who has no money at all. I mean, that's a game they play. I mean, some kind of way we have to redo our priorities, and we have to say, wait to the system. It's about my health. It's about my love. It's about my kindness. It's about my gentleness. And those 3 things, you'll see a difference in 7 days. Now, how do you get into the physical fitness? Well, I can't do it. I got a bad leg. Then walk bad. If I told you there was $20 million worth of gold over there, and every morning if you walk 2 miles, you could get it. Bad leg, folks, everybody be out there walking. So what you have to do is start slow. Start 5 minutes. And then after a week or 3 days, the problem you have, someone hear this and say, he's right, I got to do it. Then they go out and hog it, something breaks and don't. When you get through, then do your physical fitness. Do your physical fitness. I say to people who haven't trained, you out there that's 80 years old, 60, 40, been out of high school 20 years, haven't physical, stand in the mirror when you do your physical fitness naked. Why did I say naked? See, if you had clothes on, you're doing physical fitness, you hear something go zoop, you say, oh, I tore my shirt. If you naked and hear something go zoop, you know that's you. And the minute you feel something, that's God saying stop. Stop. It'll heal. The minute you feel it, stop. Don't push it. And once that heals, go back. And that's all I can say. Water, physical fitness, and rest. And if you said 4, it'd be the diet. Very important. And when we talk about water, Kool-Aid don't count. Lemonade don't count. Orange juice don't count. Fresh grapefruit juice don't count. Why? Because they have to go through the digestive system. Water goes directly into the system and starts purifying the system. And also it cools the body. It's your cooling system. One of the problems we have, can you imagine every year, every cell in your body, your brain has a convention, check you out. Say, well, what's old brother Greg doing this year? Say, well, he's 15 years old and he's drinking too much Kool-Aid and he's not drinking enough water. Say, okay, let's give him a warning. Let's put thirst. Where are we going to put it? Well, he got to be kind of stupid, so let's put it right in his throat. And we ignore it, and we ignore it. And then when you get about 60 years old, some people, 49, 50, they come every year and have this meeting. They say, well, what do you think? Say, well, let's take his right to get thirsty away. There's no need wasting the time. That's Alzheimer's disease. And if you don't believe it, find people with Alzheimer's disease and ask them, when's the last time you've been thirsty? They can't tell you. You lose that right. If I'm limping and limping and limping, I ran from Los Angeles, California to New York City. I averaged 50 miles every day for 71 days. And I thought I had trained for it, except what I didn't know is you don't run on the highway, you run on the side of the highway. So there's gravel over there. So now I have to be very careful running on gravel. And I developed a whole new set of muscles up here I'd never used before. And you talk about so.
All right, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how old Untouchable is, but when I was a kid back home, Dick Gregory was more famous not for being a comedian so much, but for selling a diet, the Bahamian diet. I don't know if Untouchable remembers that, which was essentially the grapefruit diet.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we have this thing called Carnival. It's not the Trinidadian Carnival. It's something different. Around Christmas time, and Dick Gregory's poster and stuff used to be up there selling that diet all the time. I remember. Yeah, how to drink water. Tanzan in the chat, you said that's a lot of water. I'll pass, but you like the rest part. What else you got to say about that prompt just now?
Yeah, 2 glasses when you wake up, another two later on. I drink water when I'm thirsty, and I think that system works well for me, and I haven't really been deficient of it. So, but yes, the rest part of it is good. I think it's just knowing how your body works and what works for your body. So, this sort of stuff is good for people who need the discipline and the instruction, but I think everything in moderation. And yeah, but 6 glasses, I think, by midday. Wow, no, I don't know who can just drink water like that, but that's crazy. But yeah, it's good stuff. Well, was he like Dr. Sebi? Were they preaching the same thing, or were they different?
They
Because
couldn't stand each other.
really, huh? Interesting. Okay. Because I only knew, some people talk about them, some people talk about, this Dick. I didn't know that Dick had his own, diet, Dick's diet, diet of Dick.
No, no,
Anyway.
no, 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 no. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna let that coincide. Ain't nobody was in Nassau selling no diets of Dick. I can tell you that now.
Ty wakes up. Ty, Ty wakes up. Ty wakes up early in the morning and drink a glass of cow's blood.
Yeah, no tame water for me. But no, I understand it. It's good to focus on health, even if whether or not those things are good. I think it's the idea that you should think about your health and what you put in your body. That's the
Absolutely.
important part. Yes.
Absolutely. We can't be talking about fighting for liberation, but we ain't eating for it. We ain't preparing for you know what I mean. So we definitely should be talking about diet and stuff too. China, let me ask you a quick question: do you drink room temperature water or cold water?
Room temperature water. What is this with cold water? That's very unnatural. Just drink whatever the temperature is. That's what it was meant to be, and that's the room temperature.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
think
admit,
like that.
I can't do room temperature water.
Really?
Yeah, I have to drink cold water.
What if the room is cold?
I have to drink cold water. I'll drink cold water then too. Gas. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's some truth to. There's a lot of truth to water. There's man, what's her name? I forgot her name. Doctor. Heck, man, so I'm gonna be pissed off with myself. But she was talking about the pH levels of water, and you know, mysteriously she died. She was from Maryland. Dr. Mona Scott. Yes, Dr. Mona Scott. You guys can Google her. Um, and she was talking about water. I think that you know, keep in mind there is such a thing as water poisoning. You can literally drown internally if you drink too much water. Um, so that's not good.
But that's like 5 gallons of water or something like that.
I don't know the exact amount. Like he said, it depends on your weight. But if you drink too much water, you can literally die, right? It's kind of like in science we learn about with the cells. If you put cells in a salt solution. Crenation, so they
Yeah,
shrivel up.
fluorescence.
Yes, right. And so then if you put it in a water solution, it swells until it bursts. Hypotonic, hypertonic. I forgot what that process is. What happens to the cells when they're with too much water and it swells up? Forgot what that part is called. It's been a while. But yeah, so I think it's balance, it's moderation. But I definitely think that I notice a difference in when I don't drink water, and as opposed to when I do. So that I think water is very, very important. And but I will say this though, one thing I've noticed when I go to Nigeria is that I think because Dr. Sabi said something one time. He said most of the reason why a lot of the people are sick in Africa is because of the water. And I have gotten the opportunity to buy a water distiller for some people, and I've noticed that when they started drinking the distilled water, they got less sick. Of course, I told them they had to put like some I forgot what you got to put inside because when you distill the water, it loses some of those natural things that are in the water. But because there's not a lot of you know what is it called when they're cleaning the water and purification. So there's not that much purification in certain African cities. So some people are drinking well water, but when you drink the well water, if you haven't separated where you're taking your shower and where some of the waste products go, it
Right.
seeps through the rocks back into the well water. So that's why a lot of them end up with typhoid. So I noticed that when I got some family members distilled water machines, they didn't have typhoid as much. So yeah, water very important in my opinion.
Azuli?
Um, I mean, I was anything somebody told me that you should. The doctor told you when you're drinking water, you should be standing up instead of sitting down. That's one of the things I just learned this year or whatever. But I mean, all the waters we know we're not drinking the best water, but I guess like drinking water for me, especially during the winter, is really tough. Like during the summer or during the spring, I could drink a lot of water. But it's like when the winter comes, I don't feel like drinking as much water. But also, he forgot to say that a lot of time they say you could get water from your food, the fruits, the vegetables that you eat. So, but he's saying, and I agree. If you the first revolution is with your body to treat your body right, to eat better, to get this avatar working properly. But it's already compromised because we're living in a money making scheme, so it doesn't matter sometimes. But I understand what he's saying. I don't have any complaints.
All right. Observing immigrants? Oh, Marcus Garvey is the way.
Hi. Yeah. I personally don't drink enough water. Um, to be honest, I find I only drink water when I work out at the gym. But outside of that, I'm not a big water
Well, didn't you
drinker.
say you don't go to the gym because your booty ain't gonna get big as hell?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to the gym for booty. Anyway, I said that you can't get a booty going to the gym. If that was the case, then people would just be going to the gym to get booty. It would be easier, right? Cheaper. Anywho, yeah. So I personally don't drink a lot of water. My kids drink a lot more water. But I don't. Um, and you were talking about drinking like you can't drink warm water. And the funny thing is, I grew up, in the Caribbean, and in most countries, our parents give us like hot tea for breakfast and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I it's only when I became an adult I realized that hot tea used to give me like severe pains in my stomach, and I thought it was just me until I talked to my sister on my father's side. She had the same problem, and my father had the same problem. So it's just weird, like genetic wise. Sometimes you can't do certain things, and um it tells me our bodies are different. I mean, some people may need more water than others, to be honest. Hell, I've seen people who literally look dry. Like there's some people that skin dry, just look dry all around. But For me, I prefer juices. I prefer teas and stuff like that. I don't drink coffee or stuff like that, but I prefer juices and that. But water is not my biggest thing. But I drink a lot of beverage.
All right.
And the
All
rest
right.
of the stuff he said, like exercise, diet, I think I'm fine on that. But the water thing, definitely not.
Bwana Hagaziki, what say you?
I've discovered something. Well, for me, the best hydrator for me is natural coconut water. Natural coconut water. If you are thirsty or if you need some level of hydration, I found that the coconut water, as hydration is concerned, water is good too because I drink a lot of that. But for a hydrator, I found that coconut water, natural coconut water, is good for me. I don't. I feel contented and I feel like I'm refreshed more when I drink natural coconut water than I do water itself. But I make it as a discipline to actually drink a lot of water. So I do what I can. I do what I can with that because I do work out a lot. So I try to balance with either water or coconut water, either or. You know.
Coco, you muted yourself?
Yeah, I was talking and muted. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I guess if there's no last words there, let's go to Shoot the Breeze topic number 7. Thanks everyone for that discussion. Bobby Wright in the chat says, I remember back in the 90s, Dick Gregory was on a talk show promoting his Bahamian diet. He was helping a brother who weighed 600 pounds or more lose the weight. Yeah, I remember exactly that too. He was helping some oversized Mumford to lose weight.